Biblical swarms of cannibalistic Mormon crickets ravage crops in U.S. West. The Oregon Legislature last year allocated $5 million to assess the problem and set up a Mormon cricket and grasshopper suppression program. Driving down a windy canyon road in northern Oregon rangeland, Jordan Maley and April Aamodt are on the lookout for Mormon crickets, giant insects that can ravage crops. "There's one right there," Aamodt says. "They're not hard to spot. The insects, which can grow larger than 2 inches, blot the asphalt." Mormon crickets are not new to Oregon. Native to western North America, their name dates back to the 1800s, when they ruined the fields of Mormon settlers in Utah. But amidst drought and warming temperatures, conditions favored by the insects, outbreaks across the West have worsened. The Oregon Legislature last year allocated $5 million to assess the problem and set up a Mormon cricket and grasshopper suppression program. An additional $1.2 million for the program was approved earlier this month. It's part of a larger effort by state and federal authorities in the U.S. West to deal with an explosion of grasshoppers and Mormon crickets that has hit from Montana to Nevada. But some environmental groups oppose the programs, which rely on the aerial spraying of pesticides across large swaths of land. Maley, an Oregon State University Extension agent, and Aamodt, a resident of the small Columbia River town of Arlington, are both involved in Mormon cricket outreach and surveying efforts in the area. In 2017, Arlington saw its largest Mormon cricket outbreak since the 1940s. The roads were greasy with the squashed entrails of the huge insects, which damaged nearby wheat crops. Rancher Sky Krebs said the outbreaks have been truly biblical. "On the highways, once you get them killed, then the rest of them come," he explained. Mormon crickets are cannibalistic and will feast on each other, dead or alive, if not satiated with protein. The insects, which are not true crickets but shield-backed katydids, are flightless. But they can travel at least 1/4 mile in a day, according to Maley. Aamodt fought the 2017 outbreak with what she had on hand. "I got the lawnmower out and I started mowing them and killing them," she said. "I took a straight hoe and I'd stab them." Aamodt has organized volunteers to tackle the infestation and earned the nickname Cricket Queen. Another infestation last year had local officials scrambling, Maley said. "We had all those high-value crops and irrigation circles," he explained. "We just had to do what we could to keep them from getting into that." In 2021 alone, Oregon agricultural officials estimate 10 million acres of rangeland in 18 counties were damaged by grasshoppers and Mormon crickets. Under the new Oregon initiative, private landowners like farmers and ranchers can request the Oregon Department of Agriculture survey their land. If ODA finds more than 3 Mormon crickets or 8 grasshoppers per square yard, it will recommend chemical treatment. In some areas near Arlington surveyed in May soon after the hatch, there were 201 Mormon crickets per square yard. State officials recommend the aerial application of diflubenzuron. The insecticide works by inhibiting development, preventing nymphs from growing into adults. Landowners can be reimbursed for up to 75% of the cost. Diana Fillmore is a rancher participating in the new cost-sharing initiative. She says the ground is just crawling with grasshoppers on her property. ODA recommended she treat her 988-acre ranch in Arock in southeastern Oregon. As the program's protocol calls for applying insecticide to only half the proposed area, alternately targeting swaths then skipping the next one.